There are moments when we move through the day without noticing that we are alive. Our minds rush ahead, filled with things to do, words to say, worries to solve. In those moments, the breath, the quiet rhythm that keeps us here, fades into the background, like soft music in a noisy room. Yet it is always there, waiting for us to return. When we forget to breathe, not in the physical sense, but in the deeper way of truly being with each breath, we lose touch with something simple and kind. Breathing is not only an act of survival, it is a gentle reminder that life is happening right now. The air moves in, the air moves out, and between those two movements, there is a small pause, an empty space that asks nothing from us. You may notice that when you are angry or afraid, your breath becomes short and tight. When you are peaceful, it flows easily. The breath mirrors the state of the heart. To remember, it is to remember ourselves, not as someone striving, but simply as someone being. If you close your eyes for a moment and take one soft breath, you might feel how the world slows down a little. The noise outside doesn't disappear, but it matters less. What was heavy becomes lighter. It is not magic. It is only you, remembering something that was never lost. When we forget to breathe, we begin to carry the world too tightly. We hold our thoughts like heavy stones, memories, regrets, fears of what might come next. Without noticing, we fill the space inside us with noise, and there is no room left for rest. The body becomes tense, the shoulders rise, and the heart feels crowded. It is strange how forgetting something as natural as breathing can make life feel smaller. We rush to finish tasks. We speak before listening. We walk without feeling the ground. The simple rhythm that connects us to life is pushed aside, and we start to live as if everything depends on our control. But nothing in nature holds on like that. The wind does not cling to the trees. The river does not force its way through the rocks. They move, they release, and they continue. Sometimes, when you catch yourself lost in thought, you might realize your breath has become shallow, almost missing. In that moment, if you take one gentle breath again, it is like setting down a burden. You don't need to fix anything or become someone better. You only need to give yourself a little space to exist. We are not made to live under constant pressure. We are made to move, to soften, to flow. The breath teaches this without words. It reminds us that even when life feels heavy, there is a small door open inside, a quiet rhythm that can carry what we cannot. When you listen closely to your breathing, you may notice something quiet living beneath it. Between the inhale and the exhale, there is a small stillness. It is not empty. It feels alive, like the calm surface of a lake that holds the reflection of the sky. This stillness is easy to miss because our days are filled with motion, sound, and thought. Yet it is always here, waiting beneath every breath. This stillness is not something we create. It is already there, even in the middle of noise, even when our hearts are restless. The breath only helps us find our way back to it. You do not need to sit in silence for hours or travel to a quiet place. You can meet this stillness while standing in line, washing dishes, or hearing the rain. Each breath can be a doorway. When we touch this quiet space, time softens. The mind becomes less sharp, less eager to argue with what is happening. The world continues, but it no longer pulls us around. We see more clearly, not with our eyes, but with a softer kind of awareness. If you take a slow breath now and rest for a moment in the pause that follows, you may feel how the heart opens just a little, not to take or to hold, but to rest. In that small stillness, there is a peace that does not depend on what you do or who you are. It simply waits, patient as the air itself. There are times when life feels scattered, when we are pulled in many directions, answering too many voices at once. In those moments, the breath can be a gentle way to come home, not to a house or a place, but to the quiet center within us that never leaves. Each breath is like a path that leads inward. The air comes in and meets the body with kindness. The air leaves and takes with it what is no longer needed. There is no judgment in this rhythm, no demand to be different. It accepts us as we are, tired or calm, joyful or uncertain. Breathing in, we arrive. Breathing out, we let go. Home is not somewhere we find in the future. It is the simple feeling of being present now. When you are with your breath, you are already home. You may still feel pain, you may still face challenges, but beneath them, there is a quiet strength, a warmth that holds you. The world outside changes constantly. People come and go, plans succeed and fail, but this breath, this gentle returning, is always here. When you remember to breathe, you are no longer chasing peace. You are living it. So perhaps, the next time you feel far from yourself, you might not need to search so hard. Just notice the breath, entering and leaving. In that simple act, you are already home again. Breathing is so simple that we often forget its quiet wisdom. Yet, in that soft rhythm of air moving in and out, life reveals its gentleness. Every breath holds the story of beginning and release, of arriving and letting go. There is nothing complicated to learn, only a remembering of what has always been here. If you listen closely, the breath whispers that you are already enough. You do not need to reach higher or move faster to belong in this world. Just as the ocean accepts each wave, life accepts each breath you take. This truth can be felt, not through thinking, but through simply being present for one breath at a time. When we remember to breathe, we remember our shared humanity. Everyone who has ever lived has breathed this same air, carried by the same wind. It connects us beyond time, beyond language. In that connection, kindness grows naturally, without effort. As this reflection comes to an end, I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to you, your presence here, your listening, your support, your thoughtful comments, and the kindness shown through likes, channel memberships, and super thanks means more than words can say. It helps keep these moments of quiet reflection alive and shared. May your breath be soft, your heart light, and your days touched by the peace that lives within each breath.